Hey guys, so today we're going to be putting some stuff into my subframe. So I'm running an 8.8 Ford rear end, and in order to get it into the E36 I had to cut a bunch out. And right now I kind of have it just clearance so that I'm able to put the diff in. But I'm going to weld back on the, I believe they're the control, I don't know, those. I'm going to re-weld on whatever those go to. Maybe they're R tab. So you get adjustable length ones, and then you can adjust the rear camber. And I have to move them out to fit the case width of the 8.8. So I'm going to put the 8.8 back into the subframe, which I have all chopped up. I'm going to kind of mock it up in the mount I've made, which I'll show you guys. I'm going to put some bushings in it. I got some Prothane bushings, and then I'm going to just put these in place where they need to be. And then I also need to re-weld on the rear brackets for the diff to mount to, which are actually their stock bracket locations. And you guys can also see all the different reinforcements that I've made to the subframe, because my subframe's pretty much everything that attaches to it, that point has been boxed in. So, oh, I also have my drive shafts. So on the right, or top, I guess, is the drive shaft I was running, which was a single piece, but I was getting vibrations and stuff with that. So I actually switched to the two-piece, and the two-piece uses like 1350 joints, I believe, and a carrier bearing in the middle. And that one did not give me any sort of vibration or issue. It's also thicker wall pipe. So that's what I'm going to run with this setup. According to the people that made it, it's same type of joints and stuff they'd use on a lot heavier vehicles with about the same power levels. So I should be fine running that. There's the diff, and now I'll go put the bushings in the 8.8 so we can mount it in the diff, so we can see where I need to tack weld the other parts in place. I'll clean up around the edges of them because the whole subframe had been 415 after the initial reinforcement. So I'm going to clean it all up, weld them in place, and show you guys all of it. So here we go. So there we go, got the bushings in place. I already have my rear bracket kind of on the thing. Alright, gonna put the second side in. So the back of this is also, I don't know if you can tell, but the back of the bracket's slotted. And the reason for slotting it is that my plan is to get sleeves and be able to adjust this side to side, because you do have to get the pinion angle correct. So I have play built into stuff right now so that once everything's actually in the car, I will be able to adjust stuff. So now you can see how I'm having to move these. So initially this was like over here, is that lined up? But now I'm probably going to put it, I guess I want to put it as close as possible. Because something I found when I was looking around at getting some new ones of these is that it's actually pretty hard to find, well, I forget the name of the part, but it's hard to find them that have enough adjustability to take out the couple inches that I'm going to need for chopping this. So I really need to look into which ones have the longest thread section, or I might have to get sleeves and actually have my own thread section so that it has more adjustability. But that is about where things would go. I'll run around there to also give me a little bit of play on it. And as of right now, I'm not quite sure what to do about this. So looking at this kind of gives you a demonstration of how much I actually cut. Because if you've looked at a stock BMW subframe, this pretty much goes right there. And as you can see, it doesn't even line up now. So I'm not sure though. I might make some bolts and L brackets and kind of have this chunk bolt down over it, or I might leave it open. I've seen it done both ways, but at the same time, I've only really seen it done maybe 3 times. So it's not like there's a bunch of people running this setup. now that I've done all that, I've got all that stuff welded on. It's got a good bead all the way around it. The next step is I grind it, hit it with a wire brush to kind of knock off some of the slag, and then I would paint everything over. Not sure how much of that I'm going to do today. I also am not completely sure what I'm going to do about the other end on the diff, or the other end of these. I'll probably do something about that gap, because I'm not sure. I feel like it should be strengthened up, and there's probably something I can do about it. So probably strengthen those up a little bit, cut off the excess because they've got some overhang, and then I can put the diff in and put it in the car. It's good to go. I'll do a video on putting it back in the car. I don't know if anyone's messed around with an E36 subframe, but the E36 is actually really easy to drop with the subframe. I like to do it with the diff out, but I'll show you guys how you can do it with a jack in like 45 minutes. It's pretty much 4 bolts, and you kind of mess around with some of the rear suspension and you can drop it right out. But anyways, have a good one, like, subscribe, and that's all for today.